Hello everybody, and welcome to this edition of Major League Baseball presented on MLB The Show 20. So I hope you guys have been tuning in to the past two streams. We had two exciting matchups, one against the Phillies and the Marlins on opening day, and then the last time out we had a great matchup between Steven Strasburg and Noah Syndergaard. And that ended up being a 3-1 win for the Mets. But now we move on to look at another team from the NL East, but also adding another team from the NL West, the San Diego Padres. And in this matchup, we have two exciting young lineups in tonight's ball game. Is, of course, like I said, the Atlanta Braves and the San Diego Padres. Atlanta Braves being held on to by Ozzie Albies, Ronald Acuna, Austin Riley. As you can see here, we got Zach Davies and Felix Hernandez is actually the pitcher on the opposing side for the Braves. So we'll be seeing him coming up in the bottom of the first inning. But right now is the top of the first, and Ozzie Albies will be leading off for the Braves. So as you can see here, as Ozzie Albies, he'll send one into a mid-center field. As center fielder, he is there for the out on that one. We'll take a look at the starting lineup for the Atlanta Braves. You can see there in the little pop-up in the right bottom right of the screen, Ozzie Albies first, Nick Markakis second, Freddie Freeman third, Ronald Acuna playing center field for the Braves, batting in the cleanup spot, Marcell Ozuna, Tyler Flowers behind the plate, Johan Camargo at third, and Dansby Swanson shortstop, and Felix Hernandez rounding out the order. As Markakis will look at that one outside for a ball, 1-0. See the pop-up right here, Markakis is a .412 average through the first 4 or so games of the season with 2 home runs and 3 RBIs. Not a bad stat line right there to start out the season. As Markakis gets out of the way of that one a little bit. And his last time out he went 1 for 4 in the ball game against their loss against the Arizona Diamondbacks, which now has made the team go 1 for 3 to start the season. Not a place you want to be for a first-place team of last year. As you can see, the umpires behind the plate is Freddie Ferguson, Joe McDonald at first, Carl Dixon at second, and Eric Summersgill at third base. As Markakis, he'll pop one out into left field this time, and Tommy Pham is there to make the grab for the second out. As you can see there, Markakis just got jammed on the inside slider, seemed like, right there. And right now just brings up the 2019 Silver Slugger Award winner, Freddie Freeman, who this time is .294, batting .294 with 2 home runs, though with 2 RBIs, which means he had 2 solo shots in the past games, as Freddie Freeman almost got another one. That would have been his third right there, but it went foul, so it's 0-1. Freddie Freeman fouls that back, and it's 0-2. As Freddie Freeman, he'll ground one and back into the gap. Rounding first, heading to second base is Freddie Freeman as it goes to the warning track. And he'll be in there standing with a double. And right there, Freddie Freeman just launched that one into the gap right there. As Ronald Acuna grounds out of the second baseman, Jurickson Profar, and sends it over to Eric Hosmer for the final out. So a quick way through for Zach Davies, even though he gave up that RBI, that double to Freddie Freeman. So he came out in the cleanup spot, but Ronald Acuna cannot come up to it, as it's still a 0-0 ball game. And right here we'll have Felix Hernandez, the King, as Mariners fans have called him that for years. At least over a decade for sure. Last season he went 1 for 8 with a 6.4 ERA and over 71 and 2/3 innings of work. So not really the best season out from what Mariners used to call him, or calling him the king, and still call him the king to this day, I'm sure. So I'm going to stop the recording just 1 second. Felix Hernandez, as he brings a strike right into the middle there with a curveball on that one. And I apologize for the choppy stream right here. I realize that it is a little choppy right now. I don't know why, but we'll configure that. Maybe, hopefully, it will settle itself. As Will Myers is up right now as he's batting leadoff. The 29-year-old that got drafted as Will Myers, he'll send one into the gap as Marcell Ozuna is chasing it down as he'll make the catch for the first out. And we'll take a look at the starting lineup for the San Diego Padres. As Will Myers right there, he just flew out to left field to start the ball game. Trent Grissom, followed by Tommy Pham. Fernando Tatis Jr. batting cleanup. Eric Hosmer behind him. Manny Machado, the $300 million third baseman, is in the 6th spot. Then followed by him is Francisco Mejia, the catcher. And Jurickson Profar, the second baseman, rounds out before Zach Davies comes up in the 9th spot. So here's Trent Grissom. Last season was with the Milwaukee Brewers on his rookie campaign and didn't do too bad. But of course he had that play. I believe someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but he had that play that put the Nationals ahead in the wild card game, which costed the Brewers this series. But he's looking for a fresh new start. Coming off his rookie campaign, I'm sure he learned a lot, and he's going to take that to the Padres, his talent to the Padres now. So hopefully, maybe with these upcoming these young stars that are coming up, he'll be a part of that. As Grissom walks here off Felix Hernandez's sweeping curveball at 78 miles per hour. And here's Tommy Pham to the plate. He was previously at the St. Louis Cardinals to start out his career. Then he was also with Tampa Bay last season before he got traded this past offseason. As you can see there, these last 4 games, Tommy Pham has scored 3 runs. So he's definitely a run producer and gets on base for his teammates, which is good for the cleanup hitter because he can definitely swing it for Fernando Tatis Jr. I said it's an 0-2 count to Tommy Pham. Felix Hernandez looks in, and the 0-2 delivery is outside for ball 1. And that's a slider right there. Rays manager not happy so far with his performance, but it's only the first inning, so no sweat right now, at least. Unless if something bad happens, like he blows the bases, then maybe a little bit of concern is needed. Especially for someone that's up there in age. Felix Hernandez, he is 32, believe it or not, but he is getting up there in age now where, anything can really happen to him, and don't want anything to happen to him, of course, because he's kind of made himself into some sort of legend, especially in Mariners lore anyway. But we'll see as he's in a full count with Tommy Pham, as Pham has come back from 0-2 down 0-2 to be in full count position. And Tommy Pham also walks as Hernandez cannot find the strike zone right now, and he walks his second batter in a row. Does not really want to see out of the gate. So the Braves manager Brian Snitker will definitely have to keep an eye on his man out there. As here comes Fernando Tatis Jr., who is batting .412 so far in the season with 2 RBIs. As Tatis looks at that curveball, sweeping curve that just goes outside the strike zone, down and away, and it's 1-0. the 2-0 pitch is outside. And it's 2-0. So I think the team that has the brighter future right now, I would say it would have to be the Padres, in all honesty, because Padres have so many prospects waiting in the wings. They still have Mackenzie Gore and great pitchers. Even if they're even if their rotation right now isn't the strongest. I mean, they have Chris Paddock. It's kind of like the situation of the Phillies right now. I mean, of course they have Zach Wheeler. The Phillies do right now, which is another someone that can turn into an ace, sort of. But of course, as Tatis looked at that one for strike 2-2 now on the count. But of course, Phillies would like to get 3 decent starters, and I don't know if they really have that this season. We'll see though. But for the Padres, of course, as Tatis, he sends one into center field, but Ronald Acuna is there to make the catch, as he was positioned very well to make that grab. And it's 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning with 2 men on, as Eric Hosmer comes to the plate. But going back to Braves versus Padres, I think that obviously, like I said, the Padres are well set up. I mean, they have their third baseman, or third baseman / shortstop, whoever, Machado will probably be at third base, for the rest of his career, even though he wanted to play shortstop in the beginning, right from the get-go. But you can only get so much, and I think he realizes that, especially since they have a lot of young talent, and he's willing to let them learn from him. I think if Machado can become, more of the face of the franchise rather than, at least one of them, along with Tatis, if he can improve himself, physically, and as Hosmer sends one into right field, as the throw will not be in time, and the Padres get on the board. It is 1-0 ball game. Hosmer just went right through the shift right there on that one, as Markakis' throw was not in time. And so the Padres have a 1-0 lead to start out this ball game, as Hernandez is close up there to 20 pitches, which is not really where you want to be at. You want to be around like the 10-15 range. You don't want to go anything more than that. First inning. Especially if you want to go deep. But we'll see if he can shore himself up. After this inning. But we'll see if he can at least shore himself here in terms of run production from the Padres, as Manny Machado comes up to the plate. So speaking of Manny Machado, if he can shore himself up, all around, not just being well on the field, but also in terms of his behavior on the field, maybe the fans would actually like him better. But we'll see, because first impressions were everything, and I think a lot of people still think Machado is like a dirty player, which can be looked at that way. I'm not denying that claim, but I think that hopefully with all these young players and young stars, that are up and coming, could be behind him. Maybe he can, see the light, and or maybe some of the coaching staff that's in there, can help him see the light. Especially since he's being held accounted upon because he has that large contract. So we'll see if he lives up to that hype. Obviously last season he had roughly 29 home runs and 85 RBIs, which is not exactly Machado numbers, but at least if he could play defense at third, great defense at third. I don't think he got a Gold Glove because I believe that belonged to Nolan Arenado, but if he can improve himself at third and make him more suitable for third base, I think they can bode very well and help the Padres win a series or two, World Series or two in the future. So I think the Padres probably best set up, in my opinion, because the Braves right now, of course, they have a lot of pitching and stuff, but it just seems like the mojo, they come to so close, they get the division, but they just somehow fall, because obviously we don't know how the Padres are made of yet, so to see what the Braves are made of right now, who knows, because one bad injury can really set a team off, and I feel like they have the pieces together. They just need to keep it together, as all runners went on that full count. As Felix Hernandez, he's getting up there towards 30 pitches, guys, and I'm not seeing that. So why is Machado batting sixth? I got a little bit of insight, as Machado swings and misses at that sweeping curve. So Felix Hernandez does get out of the 2 out, 2 men on jam. but the Padres do score a run as we'll go to the top of the second inning. It is a 1-0 ball game in favor of San Diego. We'll be right back. As here comes Marcell Ozuna, so far batting 118 on the season with an RBI. The Braves signed him this offseason hoping to, shore out that outfield, because last season, they have Adam Duvall and Ender Inciarte as Marcell Ozuna grounds that to the pitcher Davies, who swings it over to Hosmer for the first out. So very quick out here as Zach Davies is only at 10 pitches through 1 1/3 innings of work. As we'll take a look at the defense for the San Diego Padres, who are 6th in the NL in fielding percentage of 1,000. As Tommy Pham's in the left, Trent Grissom in center, Will Myers holding down the right field corner, Manny Machado at the hot corner at third base, Fernando Tatis Jr. At shortstop. Second baseman is Jurickson Profar, Eric Hosmer at first. Catching behind the plate is Francisco Mejia and Zach Davies at the pitcher. So here's Tyler Flowers, who is so far batting .222 on the season, and he was a Futures game collection, as Fernando Tatis Jr. has a sliding grab and sends it over to first for the second out. Fantastic defense showing off of show right there from Fernando Tatis Jr. As there is two away here in the top of the second inning, and Johan Camargo will be up. But I think Machado's batting 6th because going back as Johan Camargo, he lifts one into right field. Back goes Will Myers to the wall, and it is gone. Will Myers just cannot hang on to that baseball as it went over his head, and Johan Camargo has his second home run of the season, as the Braves tied it up at 1. That was great hitting, and we'll have to see where that pitch was about to go. See if maybe he just hung it over the plate because of the less pitches. A little bit more overconfident maybe, and just left one over the plate right there. There's nothing better to say other than that. So unfortunately for him, it is a 1-1 now, and he'll have to face Dansby Swanson at the bottom of the order. As Dansby Swanson is batting 188 with a 753 OPS, 1 home run, and 3 RBIs so far in the season. So far in that Diamondback series, he's had that stat line right there. As Dansby Swanson swings and misses at that inside changeup, and it's 1-1. So Machado is batting 6th in today's Padres lineup because there is just such a deep lineup for the Padres. Obviously Will Myers, he doesn't have exactly the power skills you might see from a right fielder. As Dansby Swanson, he'll send that down the right field line and is going to the wall for extra bases, and he's in there for a stand-up double. As that's Dansby Swanson's second double of the season, and the Braves are threatening here with 2 men away. As so far it's been a home run by Johan Camargo to the bottom, and now a a double down the right field line for Dansby Swanson, as that will turn over the order here, as long as Dansby Swanson can stay on base and Felix Hernandez will be up as he rips one into left field, but it is very foul, and it's an 0-1 count. Right there, almost blew me away there. Felix Hernandez could have ripped one into the left field seats by the Western Supply Company building. That would have been interesting to see. But yeah, Machado's batting 6th in the order tonight because, like I said, the Padres just have such a deep order and deep bench. There's a lot of players that can be intermixed. So there's a lot of choices for the manager, the Padres, but I believe that Machado's batting 6th to recompense for his 65 power versus righties. According to the show stats and show attributes. So that is the reason that I would give for Machado batting 6th. As Hosmer takes that 3 unassisted, and we'll see, as that was a wrong graphic there. I don't know what happened on the show's end, but as Johan Camargo sent that into right field, just over the wall for a home run. So that's the only Braves run so far. We'll go to the bottom of the second inning here, and Francisco Mejia is batting to start out the bottom of the second inning, as he is batting 125 this season. No home runs, no RBIs yet, but maybe looking to make a statement here, as he'll ground that sweeping curve to the down the by the third base dugout. And that is a ball, another sweeping curve, and that's Felix Hernandez's primary pitch there, the sweeping curve, and it can be effective, but maybe if he actually turns it into maybe a secondary, trying to throw off the hitters that way, maybe that'll actually more benefit him, from using that nasty one. But as you can see there, it just they didn't know if it was going to come, but then again, that was a changeup. So you can see there another changeup, and it's 2-2. Mejia just trying to stay in the count right now, and stay in the box, for that matter, as he'll ground that the opposite way, almost a diving grab from the third baseman, but to no avail, as Francisco Mejia will be on base to start out the bottom of the second inning. And that was almost a jammer, but because they were playing the shift on Mejia, Mejia was able to go the opposite way. So therefore, good job by him. As he'll bring up Jurickson Profar, who is not doing that great right now, but obviously it's only a couple of games into the season, but he is batting .071, which is not really what you want to see from a major league hitter, but I'm sure that will improve. As you can see, his last game is 0 for 5, so that definitely has something to do with that. As the count is 0-1, and that will be a changeup that is in. That's a sinker that was in for a strike, and it's 1-1. As Felix Hernandez, he is at 35 pitches with no men out here in the bottom of the second inning. Count is 1-1, and now it's 1-2 because Jurickson Profar swung and missed at that changeup. So hopefully here, Jurickson Profar can get it on base, or at least move the runner to second, because obviously the pitcher spot is up next, and maybe the pitcher spot can move over to third to give Will Myers a chance to drive in a run. As that's a changeup, and now it's 2-2. He deals, and it's 3-2 now. Another changeup. That's low and inside, and Jurickson Profar did not budge on that one. So we'll go to another full count here, and it's only the bottom of the second inning, and Felix Hernandez has gone through too many full counts throughout only 1 inning of work thus far, at least. As Jurickson Profar, he'll left one into left field as a sliding grab from Marcell Ozuna, and he makes the catch. What a great read on that one from Marcell Ozuna, as he saves a base hit right there. As we'll take a look through the show motion, and there it is with the sliding grab. He just read it very well on that one. So there is one away here, and that will bring up Zach Davies to the plate, hoping to move Jurickson, not Jurickson Profar, Francisco Mejia to second base. So you see the bunt sign is on, but he'll bunt it foul, and it is 0-1. The 0-1 pitch, and Zach Davies, he does a bunt, and it gets past the pitcher, but Ozzy Albies will just send it over the first because that was just right to him. So they'll take the sacrifice on that one, as now there's a runner on second, but with 2 outs here. So there's a couple options that Felix Hernandez can do. He can walk Will Myers here, but then that will also bring up Trent Grissom, who honestly is not like the best hitter, but he is one in front of where the hitters start getting more dangerous in Tommy Pham. So I don't know. We'll see what Felix Hernandez decides to do here, because he has walked quite a few people already. He's already walked 2 in this ball game, and he doesn't want it. I'm sure he doesn't want to do it too much and rack up the walks. But with intentional walks these days, obviously you don't have to pitch, all 4 balls, so you can just signal to the dugout. But we'll see. As you can see, that sign says willpower there, and Wil Myers, he had a lot of power, in his Tampa Bay Rays days, but he hasn't really shown a lot of that, at Petco Park here. But we'll see if, at least lately, past couple seasons. But we'll see here as Wil Myers, he flies one out to center field. Acuna is tracking it right there, and he makes the catch for the final out. So Felix Hernandez gets out of this jam, the 2-out, 1-man-on jam, and we'll go to the top of the 3rd inning. It is still a 1-1 ball game. So here's Ozzie Albies. Like I said, they turned over the order last time around, so Albies will be up to start out the top of the 3rd. And Zach Davies will get back to work, only at 22 pitches, compared to his other guy, as Ozzie Albies will drag bunt on that one, and the throw will be in time to get the runner at first. Albies with that speed, but not enough on that one, as the bunt try will be snuffed out. And so there's one away here. So that will bring up Nick Markakis to the plate. Last time out, he flew out to center field. And the 0-0 pitch is up and in for a ball, 1-0. So over 14 seasons, as he split time between the Orioles in his career, as well as I would say right now his current team, the Braves. So those 14 seasons right there, you saw that graphic. He's had 190 home runs, so looking at number 200 this season, hopefully, for him. And the 1-1 pitch is grounded to the shortstop Tatis, and he'll briskly send it over to the first baseman Hosmer for the 2nd out. So far on 3-4 pitches, Zach Davies has gotten 2 outs. So he's being very effective right now at this pitch count. But he'll have a challenge here against Freddie Freeman, as we get into some dangerous Braves lineup territory right now for righty pitchers. And the first pitch to Freddie Freeman is in there for a called strike, 0-1. So his career against Davies, Freeman is 3 for 7 with 2 doubles. And that included the last time out where he had hit a double in the center right gap, as that is a ball outside. That is a very tough question, I'm looking at the chat right now, and it's Freddie Freeman grounds it to Machado, and Machado will just get Freddie Freeman in time. But I will continue to talk here, as honestly, that is a tough question, my guy. My favorite player on both teams. Wow, yeah, that is. I believe that I would have to say it is Fernando Tatis Jr. He's just one of the most exciting players in today's game. I mean, of course you got Acuna, and then you got Albies is still there. You had, I believe he had a 200 hit season so far. I could be wrong with that, but he's kind of like your Altuve style of second baseman, if you will. Some speed, but can get on base, whether with a walk or with, a single or, some type of extra base hit. So I think that, there's a lot of players between these two teams, and that's why, this matchup is was so intriguing to me. It's just that these are two teams that have very young lineups and a lot of players that have a lot of potential. So as I think that I would have to go with, and actually I'm going to change my opinion here, but I would actually have to go with Acuna, because he's just one of the most, he has speed, he has power, as the throw is thrown off by the shortstop, Dansby Swanson. That'll be an E6 on that one. So Trent Grissom will be on base. And of course, celebrating with Tommy Pham, who walked his last time out in the bottom of the first. As Hernandez will get back to work, hoping to shore up from his past 2 inning performances, as that is in there for a called strike 0-1. But yes, I would have to say Acuna because he has that combination of speed and power that is kind of is not as seen in today's game, not yet. Obviously there's Mike Trout. Obviously there's Mookie Betts can get up there too. Cody Bellinger, not with the speed but with the pop. There's just there's not a lot of speed power guys that I can really think of right now that are currently in the game. But I would definitely have to go with Acuna because I think he's probably one of the next ones. Behind Mike Trout, behind Mookie Betts, that can really, shine right now. After coming up last season, or coming up 2 seasons ago, he just kind of came out on fire in all cylinders. So we'll see if he can stay hot, throughout the rest of his career, as this is his 3rd season, I believe. Yeah, he is. He definitely is the real deal, and it's one that will definitely haunt the NL East for time, for the long years ahead. As long as the Braves will shore up a contract, which hopefully for for himself and the Braves fans and fandom, they'll be able to sign him to a long-term contract. If anyone would be it would be Acuna. As Tommy Pham will ground that and just go foul, as it's still a full count. So here another full count for Felix Hernandez. He's up above 50 pitches right now, as he walks Tommy Pham for the 2nd time in this ball game. So not looking good so far for Felix Hernandez. But we'll see if he can get some type of just get a double play, get 2 outs, for sacrificing a man to go to 3rd, this would probably be the best possible situation here for Felix. Or he gets a strikeout here and then gets another double play. So there's a multitude of different ways that Felix can get out of this. It's just a matter of will he get out of this, as the count is 0-1 to Fernando Tatis Jr. As Hernandez looks back at Grissom at 2nd base, and he delivers, but it's way outside and low, 1-1. So here's the 1-1 pitch, as Tatis swings and misses at that sweeping curve. Again, that sweeping curve is just devastating. When it's done, when it's pitched effectively. So we'll see if Felix can shore it up a little bit and get a hold of his repertoire right now. As here's the 1-1 pitch that's way outside. Looked like a slider. Yes, indeed, it was a slider way outside, and it's 2-2. So I hope nothing is wrong with Felix right now, as that's another pitch that's way outside and probably not where he wanted it. Of course, he probably wanted it low and away. Just got out of his arm slot too quickly. As Tatis will send that up the middle, and Davies will send that over to Albies, and Albies will send it to 1st for the double play. As Felix gets part 1 of 2 to get out of this jam, as Trent Grissom will run over to 3rd and be in there safely. But there is 2 away here in the bottom of 3rd, as Eric Hosmer, who has the only Padres RBI tonight, and that was actually his first hit of the season, as he is so far 1 for 12 on the season. So good for him. At least he gets on the board now, but see if he can drive in another run to give the Padres a lead here, as that will be outside 1-0. So there you see on the graphic, Eric Hosmer has 167 home runs between the Padres and the Royals, where he also won at the 2015 World Series with them. And he has 167 home runs between the two. So, looking maybe to possibly this season. I mean, he needs 33 home runs, which isn't out of the ballpark for him. I think he's definitely hit over 30 home runs in a season. So it's possible he could definitely get it this year, but we'll see. As that's a 1-2 count, and that'll be grounded out to Ozzie Albies, and Ozzie Albies will send it over to first base in time. As the Padres threatened here in the bottom of the third inning, but to no avail did they score a run. So it's still a 1-1 ball game.